Daily Doom.
Man, you're bumming me out. Get him out of here. Who invited Mr. Doom over? Get that guy out of here.
Doom.
May 11th, 2011. All right, just bringing the doom. But today, not bringing so much doom. Going to bring some good light here at the end of the tunnel. Ron Paul. You may or may not, agree with most of his stuff, but you know what? You can always tell that his heart is in the right place. And this right here is a great example. So today he's introducing the Industrial Hemp Farming Act. What I want to talk about is the reason that marijuana is illegal is not because you can smoke it, not because it has a psychoactive chemical, but because of hemp and what hemp can do. There are literally at least 50,000 uses for this plant, aside from the fact that you can smoke it, okay? But I want to talk about some of the uses that you can do from industrial hemp. So I'm going to go into this article right here. This right here is a pretty good article. It talks about 7 great uses for industrial hemp. So I'm going to kind of cruise through here. One of the main ones you can do is clothing, okay? Clothing and textile have been used from hemp fabric since 8,000 BC, so 10,000 years. In fact, there's a lot of clothes that have been used for that. The American Revolution, most of their clothes were made from hemp. Cotton was not prevalent back in the day. It was hemp. Ropes made from hemp, sails made from hemp, things were made from hemp. It's great. Drinks, food and beverages. It's actually about 1/3 of the hemp seed's weight comes from hemp oil, which is both edible and highly nutritious, containing essential fatty acids. They say the whole seed is about 25% protein and a good source of calcium and iron, as well as omega-3. Has more omega-3 than walnuts. And so hemp's potential for food as a dietary supplement is huge. So they say also hemp can also be put to good use in iced tea and brewed into beer, fermented into wine, distilled into alcoholic beverages, and there's hemp milk. What I want to share with you about food, though, which is really, really interesting in my estimation. Imagine with me, if you will, you're at the cereal aisle at the grocery store, and you pick up a box of, say, hemp nuts. Now, the box of hemp nuts inside the cereal is obviously made of hemp, but the plastic inside the seal, that can also be made from hemp. The box itself, the cardboard, can be made from hemp. The ink printed onto the box can also be made from hemp. You could then go to the cashier and pay with your cash or credit card, both made from hemp, and you could get your groceries put into paper or plastic, both made from hemp. Now, when you look at this, you would say, okay, well, so hold on a second. So the food, the plastics, the cardboard, the ink, the paper or plastic for our grocery bags can all be made from hemp. Yeah, and those are just a few of the things that can be made from hemp. And so when you look at it, this is possibly the very best thing in the history of the world is the hemp plant. And the fact that we're cutting down trees is unbelievable. Deforestation is horrible for the environment. And so look at this. So say you wanted to make some paper out of trees. Well, you plant the trees on 1 acre of land, okay? Well, it's going to take about 20 years for those trees to mature into one that you can harvest and make paper out of. Well, let's say that 1 acre, you planted hemp instead. Well, you can get between 2 and 3 harvests every year from hemp in that same location. So that 1 acre where we planted trees for the purpose of paper, we could instead plant 40 to 60 harvests of hemp. Now, to me, that is a no-brainer, right? Well, there's a problem. There are some lobbyists and there are some industries that don't want us to have hemp legal. Namely, the pharmaceutical industry doesn't want us to have it because marijuana is a known medicinal property, right? And we're going to talk about that here in a minute as well. Also, the paper industry does not want this. The oil industry does not want this as well. In 1937, Henry Ford released a car that ran off of hemp seed oil for biofuels. And it was much more efficient than regular oil, petroleum. Yeah, we're talking about the paper here. Hemp has been used for paper for over at least 2,000 years. And hemp paper accounts for only 0.05 of the world's paper production today. But what's interesting about it is that you can literally take every thing that's made from hemp and recycle it and then make paper. So say you make your cardboard boxes and your paper and your plastic sealers for the cereal and your water bottles made out of plastic from hemp and all this other stuff. Well, then you can take all of that and make paper out of it. That's amazing. So it makes no sense that it's not legal. It makes 0 sense. Okay, yeah, you can smoke marijuana, you can get high. Yeah, great, big deal. But the fact is you can do this. Now imagine this, hempcrete spraying right here. This right here is interesting. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of this video. They're literally spraying hemp concrete onto this building right now. Right here. That is what they're doing. And this hemp concrete is more durable, it's stronger, it's lighter, it's more environmentally friendly version of concrete. Now, we have infrastructure problems here in the world right now, right? We have all of these bridges and buildings and roads that are collapsing due to they've been underfunded over time. Well, guess what? Boom, we have hemp concrete that can be utilized that is much stronger than regular concrete, regular asphalt, okay? So this is another example of what can be done with it. Yeah, you can make it in insulation, right? Fiberboard, press board. You can make wood out of it, essentially, particle board. It's unbelievable. And hemp concrete, which is stronger, lighter, and more environmentally friendly. So now we're going to scroll in here into plastics. Hemp also can be made as a viable feedstock for plastic production. So yeah, Henry Ford, I'm going to open up this article right here and we're going to talk about that here in a second. But yeah, so they produced a car that ran off of hemp and soy plastic, and it never went into production, obviously, because there were some big problems in there. DuPont did not want that happening. And so it's amazing what can be created. Everything, CDs, DVD cases, shower curtain liners, anything made of plastic can be utilized for this. And also fuel, which is great. So they can take that hemp seed, use that oil, and convert that into biodiesel fuel, which is much, much better for the environment, right? And plus, you can plant and sow hemp everywhere. They also say that you can utilize it to clean up in chemical problems. And so they say that they've used that in Chernobyl. They would plant it, and they would use these plants, and it would pull up a lot of the contamination from the stuff there. So that's pretty good. So very, very interesting stuff there on that. Here's a great article right here. It's voteindustrialhemp.com. This article right here is really, really good. Talks about, you know, the 50,000 uses of hemp that was created that you can utilize hemp for. It's great. It's a great read. It is truly an amazing, amazing plant. And to make a plant illegal makes no sense. We have all of these, you know, pharmaceuticals that are created, synthetic, that are bad for us, and nobody's ever died from hemp. Nobody's ever died from marijuana, but yet they make it illegal because it's another way they can use that to control us. It's a control mechanism. And it's very sad that we live in an age where we cannot utilize all of the things that could make us a great civilization. If hemp was legal, we would not have as many problems as we have right now, because look, our farming is going to be able to blow up because we can do all kinds of stuff with this. And so farmers all over, if you're a state like Missouri, you're a state like Kansas, if you're a state like Kentucky and Tennessee, and you guys are broke, and you guys' budgets are done, and you're having problems paying your employees and your government might shut down, well, how about this? How about you have your farmers, give them the ability to plant hemp, okay? And then we can tax it. And look at all the stuff that we can do from it. Instead, we let a controlling government take over and disallow us from utilizing things that we need to utilize. This here's one of the guys who made it illegal, J Anslinger. And he really went out of his way to sort of make marijuana illegal. And what's really, really interesting is some of the stuff that he was doing. He basically headed the Federal Bureau of Narcotics and helped launch the war on marijuana. And some of the stuff that he said was just absolutely asinine. If you were to read some of the stuff that he said, and I want to actually go over this other page. Here is the asshole right here. His name is Harry J. Asshole. And here, listen to some of his quotes that he has here. It's unbelievable. There are 100,000 total marijuana smokers in the U.S., and most are Negroes, Hispanics, Filipinos, and entertainers. Their satanic music, jazz, and swing result from marijuana use. This marijuana causes white women to seek sexual relations with Negroes, entertainers, and others. The primary reason to outlaw marijuana is its effect on the degenerate races. Marijuana is an addictive drug which produces in its users insanity, criminality, and death. Reefer makes darkies think they're as good as white men. Marijuana leads to pacifism and communist brainwashing. So what is it? It creates insanity, criminality, death, people. Marijuana is the most violence-causing drug in the history of mankind. You smoke a joint, you're likely to kill your brother. So yeah, and then we have William Randolph Hearst. He was a big problem with that as well. He owned 800,000 acres of timberland, and he obviously did not want, hemp to be utilized for all of his newspapers. He owned tons and tons and tons of newspapers, and so they would put a lot of yellow journalism out there as well. And in my estimation, alcohol is the most violence-inducing drug of all time. It kills over 400,000 people every single year. Marijuana has never killed any. And so if you like to smoke it or not, that doesn't matter. The fact is there's a lot of stuff that can be done with hemp, and it is not being utilized because of these bullshit laws and this bullshit propaganda that's been put out for years. And most people are brainwashed, and they don't even realize all of this has happened. They made it through fear, racism, yellow journalism, and personal advancement for their career. That's why this is illegal. And, George Washington, he planted it as his primary crop in Mount Vernon. Thomas Jefferson planted it. The freaking Declaration of Independence, the Constitution was written on hemp, right? It is what made us a great country from the very, very beginning. And to take that away is literally, that's what is insanity. That's what needs to be in the insane asylum, not the fact that hemp is bad for you, because it's not. It makes people think outside the box and make them question the realities. And so that's part of the problem as well, is they don't like people thinking, and marijuana makes people think. On the same day that Ron Paul released brought that new legislation to Congress, here's a new article on Huffington Post today about Obama's new assault on medical marijuana. So if you remember, whenever he was in office, they said, hey, we're going to respect the state medical marijuana laws, and that's what's going to happen. But basically what's been happening now is there's been a lot of aggressive DEA raids, a lot of IRS audits. They're trying to destroy it. And so it makes no sense that this would be illegal, but when you look at it and you sort of see what they're doing, it's like, okay, so they want to discredit the fact that marijuana can be utilized as a good tool. They like to put the fear behind it. They don't ever talk about the hemp aspect of marijuana. They also like the controlling aspect of it. They don't want people to have easy access to this because the pharmaceutical companies cannot patent a plant. And so, they will go ahead and make something called Marinol. They will take the exact synthetic makeup, genetic makeup of hemp, and then make it synthetic and then try to patent that. But they can't patent a plant, which is why they can't make a lot of profit off of that. And so, these are things that you need to consider when you're looking at all of them. These right here are just a list of a few of the conditions that marijuana can treat through the medicinal marijuana purposes. And so look, rheumatoid arthritis, AIDS-related alcohol abuse, Alzheimer's disease, anorexia, arthritis, asthma, back sprain, Bell's palsy, cancer. So these are all the things that marijuana can help treat. And you notice every one of these things have a different synthetic drug that some pharmaceutical company is making money off of, right? So you know that's what's happening. And so, that's when you look at it and you start seeing what's going on, it's so plainly obvious that, okay, the pharmaceutical company has a lot of money to lose. The oil industry has a lot of money to lose if hemp and medical marijuana are legal. Let's really put forth an effort to make industrial hemp legal. I'm actually more for industrial hemp being legal than I am for medical marijuana, because if they make marijuana legal for smoking, I'm sure that the governments will probably put chemicals in it like they do cigarettes. And so if you were to smoke it, it probably would be less healthy for you if it was full-on legal. But I'm all for industrial hemp being legal. I'm all for opening your eyes. I'm all for paying attention to the world and learning and teaching and growing and helping awaken people. So again, thank you for watching today's Daily Doom. We'll catch you next time. Much love, everyone.
America, fuck yeah. Doom.